Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg died on Friday, and President Trump is wasting no time in naming her replacement about a month before the election. Now, in fact, Donald Trump, along with Senator Mitch McConnell, are basically seizing the opportunity to not only put forward a nominee, but also to have that nominee confirmed in record time. In fact, it's going to happen before RBG is even buried. So now, let's go to White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany. When she was asked about this timing, take a look.
62% of Americans say, Kayleigh, say the vacancy left by Ginsburg should be filled by whichever candidate wins this upcoming election. Do you see any way, any scenario that President Trump will go along with that? 62% of voters asked this weekend.
The president is clear in saying that he will be nominating someone to the Supreme Court.
So when will the president announce his nominee, do you think?
Yeah, in the coming days. It will be a very quick turn of events, Gail. So I think
This week?
Yes, you will certainly be hearing this week who that nominee is. So
before Wednesday?
I think that's very likely, but I'll leave that to the president.
You know what? This is literally the fastest we have ever seen both Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell do anything. I mean, a good way to look at this is to contrast it with their response on coronavirus, for example, on COVID-19. You know, it's been about 2 months, almost 2 months since the CARES Act expired on July 31st. That's when Americans stopped getting that extra $600 in unemployment benefits. It's been that long. In that time, Mitch McConnell's taken at least 2 vacations along with the rest of the Senate. I mean, look, back in May, the Democrats passed the HEROES Act and actually, in order to try to get Republicans to be on board, said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a compromise bill up there. Republicans said, nope, we're going to take another vacation, then we're going to come back, and we're going to put forward this slap-in-the-face $300 billion bill that basically does almost nothing except for give $300 a month for a short amount of time in additional federal benefits. And that's for unemployment, right? And so understand that that's not their priority. Their priority is not taking care of the American people. Their priority, but when this comes up, as soon as they get an open spot on the Supreme Court, they move like lightning. Like lightning. Like, I know we like to make fun of Mitch McConnell because he looks like a turtle, but he is not turtling in this case. He is moving very, very fast in order to get this Supreme Court nominee first nominated and then confirmed on the Supreme Court. And they're doing it, of course, like I said before, Ginsburg is even in the ground. I mean, the body's barely cold. And already they're saying, quick, replacement, replace her now. I mean, this is insane. And again, it does show you their priorities. Nothing for the American people, everything for themselves. RBG's death has been a gift to Donald Trump. They have a chance for a 6-3 supermajority. And if they have that supermajority, well, that's it. I mean, that's for a lot of rights, reproductive rights, as well as a lot of other things that we actually care about. You think we're going to get progressive priorities done if we have a super conservative Supreme Court? Even if we do pass, I don't know, a Green New Deal, for example, which, again, under the Democrats, understand that wouldn't happen. But somehow we get this miracle. We get progressives in office, or we move Joe Biden on the issue. And then finally, we're like, all right, we're going to get a Green New Deal. And yet somebody brings a case against it in the Supreme Court. They strike it down. Or we don't even have to go that far. Even the milquetoast that is Obamacare, right? Send Obamacare to the Supreme Court. It's dead. It's dead. We're gone. It's over with. And not only that, but they're going to do even more to dismantle healthcare, labor rights, environmental regulations. Conservatives, they will bring everything they can, everything they didn't like, to the court. It is even possible. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that same-sex marriage might see the court again. And if you have a an incredibly conservative, socially conservative Supreme Court, they could rule in a way that is incredibly detrimental to the LGBTQ plus community. And look, it's very bad. And again, they're rushing it. Even if Trump loses, they still win in the long term. See, the Republicans do a thing that a lot of liberals don't. They play the long game. Liberals not as good at playing the long game because, I mean, they plan things out for a very long time. Okay, that's why. Look, McConnell has been appointing, a lot of lower court justices, filling a lot of these positions with people that are going to be on these courts for a very, very long time. A lot of these justices are judges, I should say, are very young. And then the Supreme Court justices are also very young, and they're going to be there for a very long time. And they are very ideologically driven, and they're going to, do a lot of legislating from the bench, I feel like. And that's going to be the biggest victory for conservatives in a generation. As for Trump, they don't care about Trump. If Trump gets out of office, who cares? Now, Trump cares about Trump. That's all he cares about. And so he sees this as a way to continue to keep his power. And so he sees the election going to the Supreme Court, possibly like it did in 2000. And he wants to make sure that the Supreme Court is, quote unquote, loyal to him, which I don't know if they will be. But he's going to try to challenge any result that other than him winning. And of course, mail-in ballots. That's one of the big ones because mail-in ballots are going to take a while to count. It's going to be past November 3rd, and he's going to try to rule them as, basically fraudulent. It's not a good situation. It's not a good situation at all. I mean, my fear is that all the in-person votes by Donald Trump supporters are going to make it appear that he has won on November 3rd. And then as the actual vote comes in, which will show Biden winning, he's going to accuse Democrats of stealing the election. He's going to take it to court. And maybe they'll just throw out just enough ballots due to quote-unquote fraud, right? Voter fraud, which would be unsupported by evidence. And then there goes our democracy. It's over. Good night, America. And we have become fully a authoritarian kleptocracy. And that's it. I mean, look, what sucks too is that I don't have enough faith in the Democrats to actually really fight this. I mean, we see some things from Chuck Schumer that are like, oh, we're going to use, everything's going to be on the table, but it's going to be on the table next year. Well, what is next year going to help us now? No, you have to fight this now. And what can they actually do? Well, look, there's no filibuster on justices at this point, right? So Harry Reid got rid of that. And so, well, now, yes, they can appoint someone and they can confirm someone in very quick order. And there's really nothing we can do about that particular part. But there are procedural tricks. There are ways to gum up the works. A lot of them should have been paying attention to Mitch McConnell for a long time because Mitch McConnell kind of shows you how to be an obstructionist. The guy could write a book on obstruction. Maybe we should take some lessons from that and gum up the works just long enough to that, we have an election. Again, that was RBG's last wish is, hey, don't let them appoint someone before the election is over. And look, if it goes the way of Donald Trump legitimately winning the election, then he's earned it. And we slide into fascism knowing that the majority of Americans were okay with it. Well, that still sucks. But hey, I guess that's democracy, and that's how democracy dies. But this is different. This is different. And so we do have to fight this. The Democrats, you've got to do something more than strongly worded letters. It's not going to, it's stupid petitions. I mean, the Republicans are laughing at your stupid letters. Do you know that most Republicans right now I think there's only 2 that have publicly signed on and pledged to not vote for someone until after the election. And I believe that's Suzanne Collins and Lisa Murkowski. But again, these are Republicans. When democracy hinges on Republicans doing the right thing, you know you have a problem. And that's the problem, okay? That's the thing. That's incredibly scary. Not good at all. Most of these Republican congressmen are going to vote to confirm whatever nutcase they nominated to the Supreme Court. And Donald Trump has a short list of them, which included at some point Ted Cruz and Tom Cotton. I don't care what kind of procedural tricks the Democrats have to use. And again, there are some of them. Making sure that they block everything else in order to get them to delay, doing a confirmation. Something like that. I don't know. But look, this nominee cannot end up on the court before this election. People's lives in the country are absolutely at stake.